All right, welcome guys to another jam session here. I am super excited to be having a chat with Nikhil. He is coming all the way live from India, of all places, which is cool. It just goes to show the world we live in now. We can connect with anyone. But I'm going to throw it over to Nikhil to introduce yourself, dude. Tell us a little bit about who you are and who you help.
Hey Max, thanks for doing this jam session with me. Really feel honored, to be here and spread the message with the good work that you guys are doing. I'm Nikhil. I am from New Delhi, India. I was born and raised here, and I got into coaching about a little over about 2 years ago, and the journey was kind of through a whole bunch of struggle. I've been in business with my family for about 12, 13 years, something like that. Started in 2008 with my family in business. Before that, I was an engineer in the US, working in banking and financial sector. So what happened is that our family business kind of was winding up. We were shutting down. There were a lot of challenges, but there was also retirement on the cards for my father and my uncle, who've been business partners for 30 years. So at that stage, I started like looking at what could I do, and that's when I came into the world of coaching. I had already been consuming coaching and learning myself, so I thought there's a lot that I could do to help people out there. I was already doing it for my friends and fellow business owners. So that's kind of what I came into, and I created my company Bulletproof Teams, where it's basically I help family business owners and millennial entrepreneurs. I help them with their personal success, help them develop personally, perform at their highest level so that they can take that to their business and grow it, in the shortest amount of time. So that's kind of a little bit what I do. And
Great.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, cool. So you had that shift. Now you're a coach and
yeah.
you're working with these business owners. What made you want to join the Influencer Project in the first place?
So I've been lurking, like I've been consuming Rana and all your content for a while now. Like this year specifically, I got to know about Rana. I would say somewhere around March this year, and I started consuming his content. Started following all of you, kind of seeing what you guys are doing, and I got to know about you through Taki because I was in his program, and that's where like on one of the comments it was like, "Hey, Rana's doing amazing work on LinkedIn." And I knew that LinkedIn is where I need to be eventually, right? I'd been trying to figure it out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of it, but no strategy in place. So 6 months, yeah, into sort of consuming Rana's content, it just kept. So I kept resonating with the content. I kept resonating with what he does, and uh, and the message that came through. So, and I was really looking for a solution for my business. So, in fact, I want to be very honest with you, Max. I almost signed up with another coach, right? But what dissuaded me, or what like kind of I didn't pull the trigger on that one, was because there's no live coaching, and for me, it was like, okay, if there's no interaction, then I'm just consuming content and posting on a Facebook group and trying to get like help that way. It just didn't work for me. So. So one fine day, I was just like, I was really down in the dumps, to be honest. I was like not being able to figure out my business. And it was like an aha moment. I was like, wait a minute. I just went on and I was again consuming some of your content, right? The TIP content and stuff. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it, right? I booked a call, jumped on a call with Andrew, and boom, boom, boom. It was difficult for me to take that decision at that point as well. But I was like, I have to do something for my business. Otherwise, I'm just going to like not I'm just gonna maybe quit or just get fried with it or something like that. I was at
Yeah.
that point. So yeah, it was just I knew that you guys offer a lot of value. I had seen a lot of it myself and heard a lot about it, so that just made me push towards IFS.
Yeah, right. Okay. So you were sort of in that place where you knew you needed to take a different decision, make a different decision, take a different action to sort of get a different result. So you're in that,
Yeah.
that stage of flux. So tell me, like, what I'm most interested in understanding is kind of once you got in here, what started to change for you, both directly and indirectly, and specifically the last couple of weeks, because that's in the short amount of time you've been here. I think you've only been here for about 6 weeks, give or take. That has been the biggest, like, aha, and seeing your change. But tell me a little bit about that journey over the last couple of weeks, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. The last couple of weeks have just been phenomenal, Max. It's been a complete game changer for me, to be honest, because last 2 years I've been kind of struggling, right? Dial in my offer and messaging, dial in my offer and messaging, right? Even though I've been working and getting client results, but it was just not happening for me. But what happened is the game completely changed for me a couple of weeks ago when I jumped onto one of the calls. I think it was Engage, or was it a Connect call? And it was you over there and nobody else. So I was like in a really privileged and lucky position that I got like one-on-one support from you. And the first thing you said is, "Hey, we are not going to follow the modules. We're going to help you with whatever you're stuck with right now." And that's where we took a deep dive into what I do when I'm stuck, my challenges. And the biggest aha moment for me, which is like you can say an intangible result over there, is that I met a coach, which is you, who did exactly what I'm doing right now. You help business owners, but with their individual problems rather than their business problem. And for me, it was like there was a lot of pressure I'd put on myself that I need to validate myself. I need to solve business problems. I need to do business strategies. I need to do sales and marketing and all these things. But what I have been doing all along was just helping the owner deal with whatever is in front of them, backed with my over a decade of business experience, right? So I was able to bring out strategies and troubleshoot things for them. And that just helped them get moving and actually create awesome sales and results in their business. So that was a shift for me. That was a big shift for me. And the big result I got is because of that, I dialed in. I still don't have it in words, but I'm pretty much dialed in on what my message is, right? That resulted in massive clarity. That clarity resulted in massive confidence. Because of that, I closed $14,000 in sales last week because somebody was talking to me and they said, "Hey, how do you help my business grow?" And I said, "Listen, if you want to work just on your business, then go to this coach, right? You already know because this guy's already consuming coaching, quite a bit of it. But if you want to help grow you, right, and that will help you grow your business, then I'm your guy. Let's talk to me, right? Let's talk, sorry." And I've never had that confidence and clarity, right? So the big result like that has been for me is like clarity on my sort of offer, my niche, and my messaging. That clarity has boosted my confidence, right? It's resulted in sales, so it's like it's a game changer for me completely. Like I'm more excited about my business than ever before because now I know what I'm going to do, right? And apart from that, like just going through the modules so far, right, and all the three coaching calls every week, the support, right, the time that the entire TIP crew has been giving to everyone, even though it's a group format, it's just been phenomenal, right? It's just pushing me to do better and better and better and come out with what's truly inside me as a coach. So does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
man,
that?
it makes a lot of sense. It's the I love this shift because often it's all about the content, the content, the content. Oh, what do I do? How do I do it? All this sort of thing. But in your case, it was more about it was almost like you were given permission to not have to be like everyone else and have to deliver on business, related pieces like, oh, how do we track this and sales and marketing, all that. It was more about the permission to be able to I want to work with a human being, and then that human being will be able to then create what they want to create inside of their business, which they can't at the moment because the vehicle of themselves, whether it's mindset or their body, is not quite up to scratch. So I'll help them with that, and then we can position them to then use their newfound inner wealth or whatever it is to to grow their thing. So I think that's one of the biggest wins that you can get from this personally. But it's lovely to see that you saw that in you. And at that particular point in time, you and I were having that conversation just from a business perspective. That aha moment was a bonus, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen, and you didn't either. It was just we kind of fleshed it out. So kudos to you for showing up, dude. But tell me, what would you tell someone who's either just starting out with us or they're thinking about getting started? What advice would you give them?
Well, there are two different sets of people you're asking me about. So if you're just starting out with IFS or with TIP, just stick to what they say, right? Follow everything step by step, and jump onto all the calls. Ask your questions. Ask your stupid questions. Like one will tell you, right? He like last time he told me on the call. He's like, "Nikhil, I know you like to go around in the big story, but just give me the short version, right? Because that's him calling me out." Yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives you a bit of insight into how I am. I'm like all jumbled up in here, and it takes me a while to sort out through my mess in my head. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask your questions, jump onto the calls, take the support is in massive, guys. 3 times a week, you have opportunity to work on each pillar in the IFS, and those are the pillars that are going to help you build your business to whatever limit that you define for yourself. So just follow the process, follow the system, jump on the calls, post on the group, ask the questions, right? Don't be afraid to ask the stupid questions, and that's what will lead you to whatever result you want to create in your business. And the second audience you asked me about is whoever is on the fence, right? Kind of considering. I mean, don't even think about it, guys. Like, I'm here 2 years trying to bang my head against the wall to figure out my message offer, and I'm more connected with that as a coach than ever before, right? It's a no-brainer. It's something that will definitely help you grow your business. It'll definitely give you all the support you need, right? I mean,
Mm.
I help business owners. The reason I help business owners is because they're out there doing it alone. Why? Because I've been there. I've done it for more than a decade, and there's no reason to do it alone. Every time you try to do it alone, it kind of sucks, right? So, and the kind of format, the structure that I got in IFS, or you will get in IFS if you come into it, is just phenomenal. You will never feel that you're out there alone, right? You'll never feel just the sheer number of calls, the active community. It's not even a dormant community, right? On Facebook, the Facebook community. Apart from that, what was it, Max? The onboarding call, or what's the first call? I'm forgetting the
Uh,
name of
the
it.
kickoff session.
Yeah, the kickoff session, right? The kickoff session that just sets the strong foundation for you. It gives you absolutely crystal clear on what needs to be done. There's a tracker, there's a dashboard, there's just so many resources, guys. Like, it's just hard to fail if you
Mm.
come into IFS, right? You just have to do it. So just sign
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
brilliant, man. It's awesome to hear the value that you've got, but you also share that quite that openly, not just here, but also in the group. And I think that's one of the biggest assets for anyone in our community. And you emulate that day in, day out, is you share consistently and you're active in the different pieces. And I think that's what lets a lot of people down, is that if they're not willing to commit to the whole, then
Yeah.
they're only going to be using parts of it, like 25 or 50%. You're only going to get 50% of the result. You
Yeah.
need to use 100% of it to get 100% of the result based on how it was designed, and you emulate that. So if everyone can take a leaf out of your book, dude, business would be a lot easier. But sometimes it's a challenge, which is why we're here having this conversation, to make give people, fill those gaps for people. But if
Yeah.
you were to give me one word to describe the influencer project process, what would it be?
One word, huh? That's a tough one.
As
I don't know
in,
if I,
it's an
eh,
epic challenge for you.
it's so many words, right? It's like it's epic, actually, right? If I were to use one word, it's epic. But to be honest, if I get the true essence, if I get the context right, it's just a game changer. Like, that's like, it's an absolute game changer coming into IFS. That's the one thing that's going to happen for anybody. If it happened for me, trust me, guys, like, and like, I am the most confused person on the planet. So
Okay. I've seen more confused than you. We just
so
needed to
at
give
least
you a
I feel
little
that
nudge in
way.
the right way.
Yeah. So I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. That's the
No,
main
that's
thing.
fantastic, dude. Just before we wrap up, do you have any last thoughts for anyone considering, or anything that you think needs to be said?
Um, sure. All I'll say is that there, as business owners, as coaches, consultant, whatever business you're running, there's always a ton of questions. There's always a ton of figuring out that needs to be done, right? And there's always an expert out there who is maybe 5, 10, 20, 100 steps ahead of you, who's the right match for you, and who we should absolutely take help from. We should not be worried about how much it's going to cost, right? I was worried about how much it's going to cost, right? But the main game is, how much am I going to get out of this investment? So don't be afraid to make the investment. And the investment is not, it starts financially, but it's a lot more, right? It's the investment into doing the work, it's the investment into a new relationship. When you're learning from the experts, you're investing in a relationship. When you are learning from an expert, you're investing into the future of your business and your personal future, right? And it's all about the possibilities that can come out of that future, right? Your family, your relationships, your wealth, everything pops up, right? It's just when you come into a community that is just designed to carry you forward. And this community completely rocks. That's all I have to say.
Brilliant, dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your story. Like we said, it's only very early days for you. So as you get more and more clear on who you are and having those conversations, man, looking forward to seeing the progress as it unfolds. But dude, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time, and we'll chat to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks a ton, Max. It was an awesome jam session, and I'm really honored that I got to do this. So thanks a bunch.